Hello everyone and welcome back to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at some more 3 3/4 inch action figures, and these next ones come to us from the final wave of figures from Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Now the character that I'm going to share with you today is little more than a background character, and despite only appearing on screen for probably a grand total of 3-4 seconds, the attention to detail and the overall quality of this figure is really good, and with that being said, it makes it one of the best figures from the 3 3/4 inch Rogue One line that Hasbro have produced. So if you want to add this figure to your own collection, and I highly recommend you do, be sure to hit the link in the video description, which will take you to staractionfigures.co.uk, and at the time of filming this review, this guy's in stock and available to buy. Although, as I mentioned, as part of the final Rogue One wave, he's probably not going to hang around for long, so make sure you get him while you can. And at the time of filming, he is the last figure from this wave to be still left in stock. So again, act fast. So the figure itself is none other than this guy. This is Lieutenant Sefla. And for those of you that don't remember this character in the movie, he is the rebel trooper that we see in action during the Battle of Scarif that sacrifices himself in an attempt to turn on the master switch, which will allow the rebels to beam their transmissions to the fleet above the planet. So obviously, due to his heroic actions, that warranted him a place in the Hasbro action figure lineup. And again, I'm really impressed with this figure, so kudos goes out to Hasbro for creating such a good one. So before we jump into the review of the figure itself, as always, let's take a quick look at the packaging that he comes in. As you can see, this guy comes packed on the standard Rogue One card. You've got the Death Trooper brand image at the top corner there, and just next to that you've got the Rogue One logo. Down below that we've got some very cool artwork of the character, and on the front of the bubble you've got an image of the play feature that's included. And in this instance, it's a rocket launcher, which we'll get to in just a bit. On the back of the box, you've got a rundown of the Studio FX app, and just above that, a brief description of Lieutenant Sefla himself. So there we go, that is the packaging that this guy comes in. Now let's take a look at the figure itself. As I said, this guy is really cool, and what I really like about this figure more than anything else is the uniform that he's wearing. It's got this very real world feel to it. It very closely resembles the uniforms worn by US troops during the Vietnam War, and in that respect, again, it's got this real world feel to it, and it really defines that used universe feel that Star Wars films have always had and are known for. So that's really cool. Now, obviously being a 3 3/4 inch action figure, he just features the standard 5 points of articulation that we've come to expect. He has a ball joint at the head, swivels at the shoulders, and swivels at the hips. In terms of accessories, he does feature a removable helmet, which is not exactly commonplace throughout the 3 3/4 inch line these days. We don't tend to see removable helmets very much anymore, but this one is an exception to the rule. The helmet itself is made of a very soft and squidgy material, so it's a nice snug fit on top of the head, and when you remove the helmet you get a much better appreciation of the head sculpt underneath, which is nothing too special, but it's a nice likeness to the actor who plays Lieutenant Sefla in the film, and a faithful likeness to the character that we see on screen. The helmet itself is really nicely detailed. There's some really crisp, clean paint applications to it, and I really like the added touch of the unfastened chin straps dangling from either side. That looks really cool. Now, as I mentioned, he does have this real world feel to him, but at the same time you can definitely see similarities in the design to the rebel troopers that we see during the Battle of Endor in Return of the Jedi, so he's still got that Star Wars feel to him as well. Now, with regards to the rest of the figure, there's some great detail going on in the uniform itself. As you can see on the jacket there, you've got all those pouches, buckles and straps, and on the belt you've got all these bags, pouches, all these additional details that just look really nice. Even got some binoculars there in the pocket. It's really cool detail on this guy from head to toe. Obviously, aside from the removable helmet, he does feature a weapon, and in this instance it's a blaster rifle, very similar to the ones used by the Resistance troopers and Poe Dameron in The Force Awakens. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the review, He does come with a play feature, which in this instance is a rocket launcher, which, as you can see, sort of resembles the rocket launcher used by Baze Malbus in Rogue One, the one that he uses to take down the AT-ACT. It's a flick fire feature, so you just give the missile a tap at the back and that will fire out. As you can see, Hasbro have painted the end of the torpedo to make it look as though it's launching from the rocket launcher itself, which is a really nice touch. So all in all, this is a great figure, definitely one that I recommend. Whether or not you're putting together a Scarif Beach diorama, or whether you're just an army builder, or even just a completist who needs every figure from every line, you know, this guy is not to be missed regardless. So as always, once again, there is a link down below in the video description, and I highly recommend you purchase this guy, given the chance. I'll be back to review some more figures from this wave very soon, so make sure you stay tuned for those. And of course, I'll be back to review some of the Last Jedi figures in the coming weeks. So until then, as always, thank you for watching, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.